So I'm back, going to do the Athearn now. I'm just going to use it at slow speeds because I'm still worried about that unsupported back there. As I had suspected, didn't even hiccup, of course. Had mentioned in the video I did for my J, which was right before this one, so I'll let y'all pick which one you want to watch. I was having issues with it. The trailing wheels on the back were actually popping off. Had some issues with the curving. As you can see, there's no support from there to there, so I've got to do some woodworking, or maybe a curved bridge if they even make those for support. But did a 22 into a 3, into a 22, a 9, a 22 into a 3, into a 9, then a 4.5, and back around. Had said in my last video, a lot of work still needs to be done, which is fine. That's all part of the hobby. I'm going to do a review. My idea for building the table came from Greatest Hobby. They're actually on YouTube. They're everywhere. I pretty much just took a bunch of 2x4s here. I did a 4 foot for the height, because I wanted to be able to sit down and enjoy the train. Did 1/2 inch plywood. I don't like OSB board. You could probably do OSB board. I trust plywood a little bit better. I did some on the bottom. I did chair leveling feet, and as you can see, the addition for that was just an extra piece of 2x4. I did 2-inch thick foam. Did the incline and decline 2 sides from Woodland Scenics. 4-inch risers, the Woodland Scenics. Bachmann EZ nickel silver, HO scale, obviously. My idea for this actually came from another YouTuber, Olliad, OLLIEAD. This is a flyover, as those who have experience know this is. I think he's either Australian or British, because a lot of his stuff was in Hornsby. I think that's their train setup. That's what it's called. It's in centimeters and stuff like that, whereas ours is in inches. I'm going to talk about the Bachmann track. As I had touched on in my other videos, I came from the Atlas Code 83 Flex Track brass. Brass can get tarnished very easily, but you can also clean it very easily. It conducts power very well, and also, since it's track that doesn't have a roadbed, you usually put it on, like, the most common is cork board. which means it's super flexible, easy to move, easy to manipulate. This is not. This is, yeah, it's convenient. You snap, you're done. But it doesn't flex. That's why I've had to use pennies to fill in the gaps. Do I like it? Yes, I do. I like the Bachmann. Kato is a step up. Kato is still snap track, still easy to use. If I decide on down the road to switch to Kato, I would have a lot of track to sell. Right now, I'm going to stick with the Bachmann. I don't have a need to get rid of it. As I had said, this is just a review. It's nowhere near done, but I thought I would do just a simple review. I welcome all input, especially on this. If you have an idea of how to bridge that, I was going to use probably like 1/4 of an inch thick wood and use a router and shape it to that. I've got to reposition the foam because I lost some support here by rearranging that. That's can't really think of anything else. I said this is just a general review. It's been a lot of work. Still, working on stuff and still buying stuff. Going to actually turn this into a functioning yard. Going to get the shop. It's a Walther's. Forgot the name of it. I'll have to actually look it up, but it's really nice. Going to turn this into a town setting here. Going to do a theater and a hotel, which is here in town. It's called the Martha Washington. And then a hardware store, because the hardware store here in town is my favorite restaurant. It actually has a really good barbecue there. So I'm going to add that in there for fun. Not sure if I'm going to paint it or sculpt it. I might still do that. Just on, if I pin this down and glue it down, that means it can never be moved again. That it's set, that I can't add extra track if I paint it and I decide to change everything. As I had said in my earlier video, I want to be able to expand, and my goals is to do an 8 by 18 by 8. Obviously, it's not heading in here. My wife would kill me. So I'm sticking with just a 4 by 8 for now. I've had a lot of fun with this. It's been fairly expensive, I won't lie. For those who are interested in cost, if you're actually paying attention to the videos and stuff I've been doing, I got a lot. And as most of you know, a lot is just huge assortment that people want to get rid of. I got the Bachmann track. I'm not going to say the price because it was an amazing deal. Let's just say I got all this and extra, and I still have more, even more track to use. It was under $200, and most of this stuff would probably run me probably $600 easy. The trains themselves are expensive. I bought this one new. It was $135. The trains. These themselves, I actually bought on eBay as a lot. I got 4 for ship for $35. Got the Powhatan Arrow diner car, I think it is. I got it for shipped $15. Bought assorted cars, all kinds of stuff. I mean, it adds up. My wife will probably castrate me, but she luckily she doesn't watch the videos. Probably got. I actually did it on a budget of $500. So I've broke even, and I've sold stuff I didn't like or I didn't want. I actually had steel track as well. And then I found out that this is better, so I had both. I had steel and nickel silver, and I sold all the steel track. So I almost broke even on that. Just reviewing. Anyone interested in this, message the forums, post on the forums. Every single person on there has been extremely helpful, extremely nice. Everybody's been just so good to say, hey, why don't you do this? Or hey, let's do that. And we'll change this, change that. Which is what you need when you reach out to the public, is you need input back and you need help and, reassurance of, well, hey, that's not technically wrong, but you can do it better this way. Huge thank you to Rocky Parkhurst is his name. He actually has his own forum now. He has his own site, Rocky's Train Shop. Hit him up. He does repairs. He does builds. He does all this stuff. James Strickland. James has been a huge help with me. He's, as I had said before, he's the paint guy. He does it all. He does repairs and paint. So if you need any help from any of the, and there's other people too. There's not just those guys, but those are the ones I talk to. Those are the ones I associate with. I'm actually friends with Rocky now. Like, we're real friends. James, I talk to him often. He's my buddy. Never be afraid to ask for help. Never be afraid to ask for input. Always welcome ideas and help and, hey, do this, hey, do that. Just be patient. This is a project that takes time and takes patience. And if you don't have it, then what's the point? It's just sitting down, relaxing. And I do this. I'll head downstairs here and just run the train. I used to play Xbox all the time. I've not played Xbox in a long time. I'm usually down here playing with this. It's an amazing hobby. It's a huge stress relief. It's also, it can get expensive at times, but what's a hobby without actually spending money on it? I've actually been showing my son how to run stuff. How to back up, how to pull forward, how to hook up the trains, how to move them, how to switch track. That's the whole reason I did this. Was a hobby where he can sit on my lap in this chair, use this and drive it. I want him to share this with me, and that's the whole reason I did this. Yeah, I did it for me too, but other than that, it's also for him. This is a hobby that he can grow with and build with and show his kids when he's older. But just, wanted to do this as a review, show that it is heading along, and it's actually heading very well. So I'm gonna hop off here. I'm actually off. I worked the other job tonight, off from the main job for the next 2, but I'll work the other job. Yay. Part of being an adult, I guess. But post any comments, any ideas, questions. I'll try to answer them. Try not to post them on the video on YouTube. I don't see that. It's not linked with this phone. It's a Gmail account, but I use Yahoo. Send me a message on the forums. Just add me as a friend. I don't mind. I can talk trains all night. As everyone knows, I don't shut up. But thank you all so much for the input. It's been extremely helpful. If you have any ideas, again, as I said on my other video, having problems with the J up here, of which track to move and what to put where, and if I need to buy extra for this or that, shoot me a message. Say, hey man, why don't you do this? The problem with the J is it's just a little bit of a tight turn heading into that, and the trailing wheels will fall off. And if I've got the coal tender hooked up right, it won't make it. It just gets bound up and tries to derail. Obviously, this little jewel here that doesn't miss a lick. But as of now, I am going to call it done. Just needing finalized. So, just been really enjoying this. Thank y'all again. Y'all have a good night.